Hello. Mic check, mic check. Is this thing on? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Audible 4 or yesterday podcast with Audible 484. I'm actually really nervous right now. Like, I legit have not felt nervous like this in a minute, especially when it came to something with YouTube or creating or anything like that. It's a new space for me. I'm very excited to get into the podcast world. And welcome to the Yesterday podcast. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday. I'll be streaming it live here on the Noise Flicker. Dom, what do you mean? Sorry, guys. I'm going to do my best not to respond too much to chat. I just want to keep the podcast as focused as possible. But you said Noise Flicker, so that threw me off. Anyways, I'll be doing this every Sunday. It's called the Yesterday podcast. Basically, it's just me talking with you guys, chilling. I just want to discuss things that happened throughout the week. My channel and content's never really been about discussing relevant topics and things like that. You know what I'm saying? It's always been more so focused content on certain topics, but and nothing current, not current events. And that's kind of what I want this to be. So going forward, the flicker dog. I got you, Dom, got you. Anyway, so yeah, like I'm saying, yesterday podcast every Sunday. I already know down the line when I hear this podcast back, I'm going to be like, Jesus Christ, I had no idea what I was doing. I've been working on this for weeks. Last night I was up till 4 a.m. trying to figure everything out and make everything as smooth as possible. And I'm actually really proud of where I got it so far. So yesterday podcast, you'll be able to watch it here on the channel live until the end of the year. And then starting in 2019, possibly even sooner, I'll keep you guys updated. The live stream for the podcast will actually only be for people who are subscribed to the Patreon. It's a minimum of $1 or more a month. Like I said, you pay $1 or more a month, and you'll be able to see the streams live. If not, you'll be able to see them once I'm done and uploaded for free, no matter what. You'll be able to listen to the podcast for free, no matter what. And they'll be on Apple Music and Spotify and stuff like that. I need to smoke something, guys, because I don't know what I'm doing, because I'm trying to focus on this being a podcast and it just being me talking more and not necessarily a visual video or a live stream. And I'm low-key nervous, so I need to smoke something real quick. And yeah. That's one thing I don't want. Constant coughing in a podcast. Not dope. All right, so obviously you guys know I've had a podcast before in the past, Blended. And I thought about doing a podcast on my own over the years. And honestly, I'd begun to hate podcasts in my life, especially when I would do them. I look back in the Blended podcasts, and I feel like it was always just one person trying to beat the other person in a conversation that neither one knew what the fuck they were talking about. It's I've seen podcasts. I watch a lot of podcasts at work. I have a lot of downtime. And in this last few months that I've had so much downtime, this new job, and listening to a lot of podcasts, I'm like, no, not all the podcasts are like that. Some people actually know what they're talking about. You know, it's hard to watch your own podcast back, because for me it was, because I was constantly getting drunk as fuck and high as fuck. And I just wouldn't make sense. I started to be able to read my body language and interpret the way I was saying things. And it was just disgusting. I hated it. And you would think somebody who's made YouTube videos for so long, would kind of be over that. But when it came to the podcast, I don't know, it was something different. It was like I was trying too hard to be Joe Rogan, and I was trying too hard to just imitate something that I had saw, rather than it being me just talking in a podcast. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I kind of am hoping I can eventually get to, because I know how to talk. I make videos. I've done this. I've done this shit for a long time. But to be able to like legitimately just be myself 100% in a podcast form, I think it's going to take a minute. I think it's going to take me a few episodes to really get this down the, smooth. But I'm excited about it. It's something I'm going to be doing every Sunday. And I think that in time, it'll be smoother. It'll be more fun, more structured. I won't be as nervous and like uptight as I am right now. But I'm very excited. Very fucking excited. Next week, maybe the third episode. Maybe not next week right away. I kind of want to get my feet planted a little bit better, but soon. And my first guest will be my wife. I'm going to have a lot of guests on that are not like typical podcast guests that you'd normally see. Like, I'm not going to have Marshawn Lynch on or the Dave Matthews Band on. But I have a lot of friends and family, So it's like, I think it'd be super interesting to sit there in this type of setting and have a conversation with them for like an hour straight and talk. And I think it's always, like I said, it's come off as corny to me, and just people trying to push their insecurities and their ideals onto other people, or at least in my history. But I don't want to do that with this podcast. I want to like enjoy the time. I want to discuss fun things. And if we get into deep conversations, let's do it, but like not in a self-indulging kind of way. Like, let's just discuss things. I don't know. I think that a lot of the reasons that I stopped doing the podcast and long forms of audio commentary like this is because I started seeing like all the bullshit inside of me. And in the last few weeks, I've grown a lot and I've changed a lot. And I want to do that while also having an outlet to talk every week. So cheers to that. I'm excited. Hope you're smoking something. Hope you're drinking something. As for me, I'll drink my Monster Hydro. It has officially been 37 days, I believe. It's been like a month, over a month. I think it's a month and 7 days. No alcohol for me. That's a big deal. 37? That's right. So, see, I'm yesterday was really bad. Last night, I went to like a family party, and everybody was really drunk, and I started to feel like, and it wasn't just like everybody was really drunk. There were like 80% of the people at this party, I had no idea who they were, and they were young people, and it's like, I don't want to be around that anymore. I don't want to be around drunken strangers for no reason with my kids. Like, I just felt like, I don't know if you guys may understand this, but like sometimes in certain situations, like you get this feeling like, oh, shit's about to go down, just by looking around you, you can see people getting real rowdy and drunk, shit's about to go down. And up until recently, I would thrive on those moments. Like I would enjoy those moments, be like, yeah, let's fucking go. But lately, it ain't worth it to me. Like it's just not with my kids. So I tried to get out of the situation, and I kind of got into it with a couple family members. Not got into it, but just like, I don't know. I feel like a couple family members, or one in particular, was trying to like low key talking shit because I wouldn't drink and I was being like weird. And I'm like, I didn't expect that from her. It was my sister. I'll be straight up. My younger sister. She made a little comment like, "Why don't you just have a drink? Like, relax." And that fucking threw me over the edge. Like, motherfucker. I wanted to say bitch right now, but she's my sister, and there's people watching. So, bitch, like, fuck it, bitch, like, don't you like know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to like be better. You know, like, don't you remember all the different bullshit that I brought you and all everyone else when I would get super drunk in situations like this? Do you want me to be that person? It was so frustrating. Like, I'm over here trying to better myself, and she wants to make a little comment. It got under my skin. I'll say that. And then at that point, I was like, no, we're leaving. We're leaving. Then a couple other people just wanted to make sure I was okay, but then everybody was like crowding me and making it a scene, and I was like, no, I need to get the fuck out of here. I have real bad anxiety and shit like that, so it's pretty normal, you know, situations like that, at least for me. I should have rolled a joint, man. I should have rolled a joint. Somebody in chat said I should roll a joint. I will next time. Next Sunday. Next Sunday, I got you guys. Anyways. But speaking of, I'm going to take a hit. So yeah, 37 days, no alcohol. Feels good, man. But I'm going to have a beer soon. I don't know. It also feels kind of like not, I also feel like not good about myself saying that out loud like that. I miss having a beer, guys. I miss enjoying one beer. And it's like, I'm thinking to myself, like, I know I'm very hard on myself when it comes to everything, when it comes to music, when it comes to videos, when it comes to family, fatherhood, everything, being a husband. I'm very hard on myself. And part of me is wondering if I was being too hard on myself with this whole alcohol thing. And then a part of me is telling myself, no, that's just the fucking alcoholic in you trying to talk you into going to have a beer so you can get drunk as fuck again and self-destruct again. A lot of people don't understand that night, 37 days ago, when I decided I wasn't going to stop drinking, like, something almost happened. I almost made a choice. And the sucky thing is it wasn't even like me not making the choice. It was like I would have made the choice, but the choice was taken away from me. And I'll forever be grateful for that choice being taken away from me. But in that night, I chose something. I'll never talk about it. I'll never discuss it. But with anyone, not even my best friend. But in that night, I made that choice, and one, the only reason it didn't happen is because the choice was taken away from me. And two, had I gone through with that choice, I could probably be dead right now. I could probably be like divorced or all of the above. I don't know, I guess, It was scary. It was terrifying. And I just started realizing, like, damn, every couple of weeks I'm having these nights over and over and over. And, like, alcohol was really making me, like, psychotic. Not even psychotic. That's probably a bad word, but, manically depressed, I'd say. Manically depressed. And, like, I started thinking ways that were just so not me. And not what I want in my life and for my kids and my family, And then I'd wake up and I'd realize, oh, that's not me. I was tripping. I was just drunk. But for me in particular, changing my ideals and every single thing about me as a person every few weeks started fucking with my head and started making me so confused as to even what time it was, who I was, where I was going in life. And it's like, I was just so done with it. And also, I think I have also been putting a lot of, like, shit that's just wrong with me in general into the pool of what I think alcohol has done to me too. So to cut back a little bit, not only am I wondering if I'm being too hard on myself because of that fear of when I get super excessively drunk, but maybe I'm also throwing alcohol under the bus for things that are just wrong with me in general. And I don't mean to come off like I'm super sad and this to be the first 15 minutes of the podcast either. It's like I'm really, really, really in a good place. And doing these podcasts, like already it just feels like a fucking load off of my chest and my shoulders just because I'm like into it now. Now I'm talking. This feels natural to me. And I'm starting to realize like, damn, I needed to just do things, you know? So when I stopped drinking alcohol, I forced myself to start really diving back into making music. That was the first thing. And I made a few songs, and it was like the best therapy session you could possibly have. That's just what music was for me. And still is. It's a trip. I haven't made really real music in like 2 years. I made like 2 or 3 songs in 2 years. Biggest break and biggest like, you know, everything. And when I made these last few songs that I've made, it just feels amazing. So I'm starting to realize that I think I just have the type of personality where it's like I need to focus and like strive for something, like have a goal, you know, a passion, or else I lose my mind. And alcohol doesn't help that like at all. So yeah, I think the microphone can go up a little bit louder, but I'll mess with all that later. I think we're good. So yeah, 37 days sober, or from 37 days no alcohol. I don't want to say sober because there's people out there who are like actually sober, and I don't want to take anything away from that. I still smoke weed. I still do drugs. Like I just don't want to get drunk. I started listening to this book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. And it's probably a big reason why I started this podcast, like a big inspiration. On top of Joe Rogan's countless podcasts that I've listened to and learned so much from, Jordan Peterson too. But that book in particular, I really feel like helped change my life, like turn everything around. It was a big deal for me. It just talks about how like there's like 2 different ways to live your life, you know. You could either just give a fuck about everything or not give a fuck about everything. Or, I mean, well, there's that's kind of a horrible way of putting it. But basically, you learn to give a fuck about things that deserve to be given a fuck about and not give a fuck about things that don't deserve to be given a fuck about. I feel like I'm going to get demonetized specifically for that string of words right there on this YouTube video. I think I need a better sitting situation because this doesn't feel as comfortable as I thought it would be. But we're gonna make improvements here, guys. Eventually, right here, I want to get a neon yesterday sign. That'll be interesting. I found one for $500 to get a custom made neon sign. But I'm like, there's got to be neon guys, right? Like somewhere, like around. You just hook me up with some neon. That might be down the line, but eventually we'll make it look a lot nicer, have it more comfortable. I'm excited to have guests on. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have multiple scenes, but everything's set up and ready to go. I'm ready for a guest, and I'm excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So yeah, things are going good for me. I don't want to get too deep and dark, but I definitely want to cover that. The reason I started making this podcast has a lot to do with not drinking. So, yeah. It feels good. It feels good, man. It feels good to finally be like, I don't give a fuck about views. I don't give a fuck about the number of subscribers. I do give a fuck about my subscribers, but I don't give a fuck about how many of them there are. I don't care about growing. I don't care about none of that. When it comes to YouTube, I just want to do it because I enjoy it. When it comes to art and music, I just want to do it because I enjoy it. And that is where things are heading. And it's beautiful. It's funny, I got this comment. I don't know if I have it anymore. I think I screenshot it. But I think I emptied my recycle bin. It was from somebody who I've seen in chat before. Who I've seen, on the channel quite a bit. And I had streamed Fortnite for a couple hours one night, just chilling, because I enjoy doing it. And he commented, what did he comment? He said, hey man, you really need to switch up your live content. Something about like, nobody wants to see you play Fortnite at an average level for 2 hours or some shit like that. And it has been years, guys, since a YouTube, a Twitter, anything got to me, Back in the day, they used to get me a lot. Back in the day, comments and shit like that used to really fuck with my head. And I would get into them, and I'd get into like internet beefs and all this other shit, like rap beefs. I don't know if you guys remember that. But for whatever reason, that comment kind of got under my skin. And I sat there and I thought about it, and I'm like, what the hell is the reason for it? And then I realized I am much better than average at Fortnite, bitch. Like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? If you want to 1v1 me, bro, I will 1v1 you with no mouse buttons, bro. I will 1v1 you with a keyboard and moving with the fucking the arrows, bro. Seriously though, for whatever reason, this kid insulting my Fortnite gameplay is what got to me. Out of all the years of hearing negative bullshit, people talking shit about my kids, people talking shit about my girl, people talking shit about my music, like I have that fucking comment for whatever reason got under my skin because he insulted my Fortnite gameplay. Now, thank you, Bubba. I see you in chat. He said I'm pretty good at Fortnite. I'm the Mexican Ninja. I like that. The Mexican Ninja from H70 Polo. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I am better than average. All right. Yeah, that stream that he was talking about, I didn't do that well. Okay. Yeah. Whatever. I was playing solo contender series arena matches, bro. Like, do you even Fortnite? Anyways. Analyzing. I don't know why I did that. That's some high shit right there, guys. That's the first high thing I've done for the podcast. Anyway, so when I read that comment, I was analyzing. After my analysis, after I was insulted by that comment and it got under my skin, I wondered why. And I was like, it's really because of Fortnite. And like, I'm sitting there thinking like, why does that bother me so much? And I was like, because I'm super passionate about Fortnite. I'm 28 years old. I have 2 kids. And I am passionate the most probably in my life when I'm really honest with myself, except for like family and stuff like that. But beyond music, even so, in a big way, I feel like that might be true. Like music and YouTube, I am passionate about competitive Fortnite gameplay. And it's such a mind fuck. I'm like, how? When did this even happen? Like, how, Sway? 2 years ago, if you'd have told me this, I'd have been like, dude, shut the fuck up and stop smoking that shit, But it's a thing, I guess. I don't know. It is what it is. I don't wish to be a Fortnite pro. Not at all. I could. This is the thing, right? If I had the time, I feel like I could be very, very, very good at Fortnite. I feel like I could be pretty, very good at anything I really set my mind to, honestly, when I'm really being honest. I'm confident in myself and my ability, in most things. Fortnite being one of them. But it takes a lot of fucking time. And you have to be around the right people and play with the right people to really get better. I only play with a couple guys who are like real competitive and even semi-serious about the game. Either way, like I said, I really don't wish to be a Fortnite professional. That's not what this is. Little Timmy's go ham on Fortnite. Absolutely. Sorry, I need to remember I'm not supposed to respond to chat. I guess I can, but I'll try to do a minimal. Just got to make sense to the podcast listeners as well. And by the way, for those, I don't think I've said it yet. Oh yeah, I might have. But if you guys listen to podcasts and you're interested in checking this out in just audio form, you can do that at Apple Music or iTunes or the podcast app, and then Spotify as well. Probably within the next day or two. I'm not sure how long it takes yet. This is the first one, so we'll see. Blunted is already on there. So if you guys haven't subscribed to Blunted, BLUNT''D, go ahead and do that. We'll have a new episode within the next few weeks. So like I said, I don't wish to be a Fortnite professional, but I would like to be allowed inside the building, if that makes sense. I would like to play some cash cups and win a little bit of money here and there. I'd like to play tournaments like IRL, like in real life tournaments, and see how I do. I don't think I enjoy it so much. It's such a fun, safe way of competing, and you use your mind and things like that. Like, people underestimate the strategicness of Fortnite and the competitive complexities of Fortnite. Like, it is not just little kids dancing on boats and shit. Like, there is insane chess, like probably more complicated than chess. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect a classic board game. But I mean, shit, like it's it's a complex game, and I respect anybody, even the little fucking 10-year-olds who sit there on their Xbox 8 hours a day. Like, I respect it. You guys are grinding. It's hard. There's also a lot more out in life that you're going to want to experience at the same time. Don't disrespect chess, yo. But it's a grind, man, and I respect it. It's just I don't really have the time, I'm a grown man. I got a job and shit like that, and whatever, it's fine. But it's just a trip to me, one, that going back again to this comment of this guy insulting my Fortnite gameplay really got under my skin that bad. And it wasn't about him talking about my content, and he talked shit about Twitch and saying something about talking about my content, insulting my content. I don't give a fuck about that. I've dealt with that for years and years and years, and it doesn't affect me anymore. But that other one did. And it just kind of made me rethink, damn, my passions are much different, and I need to be a lot more open about that. Why not? I don't give a fuck anymore, dude. I don't give a fuck anymore. And it feels so good to just not give a fuck about making the best documentary possible in order to get views and posting it on Reddit from different accounts and upvoting it certain ways so that it'll I don't care about that shit no more, because that was such an unhealthy way to make YouTube videos. Yeah, a lot of great content came from it. The peyote video, the salvia video, a few of those other ones, there's some good documentaries that I made, but I didn't enjoy making them. There were moments where I'd get into it and it was okay, this is cool. And then seeing it, oh, that's dope, that looks tight. And it was there was fun to it, but it was always foggy and overshadowed by this want to get views, the best title, the best intro to keep them hooked. No, I don't want to make content like that. I just don't want to make content like that, and it's I don't want to make, I enjoy making the documentaries. I'm not saying I'm done. I'm not. I'm going to continue to make them, but I want to make ones that I enjoy. Not because I think they're going to get videos or views, and not because I think that they're going to be like, because my channel has to do with drugs, and if I do the right drug at the right time, it's going to get, no. I need to enjoy whatever the fuck I'm doing. And if I don't, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I don't want to grow my channel. I don't care. I really don't. It's like, I just want to be consistent and enjoy it. And that's what it was for years. In the past 2 or 3 years, I literally quit my job with the mind state that I'm going to turn this channel into a money-making machine. And that's when I started making the documentaries and shit. And that was kind of the decline of my channel, if I could be honest. Even though it was actually the growth of my channel, even though my channel got the most views and the most clicks in that time, it also was the beginning of the end, because look where I ended up. Look what the past few months have been. Me struggling, depressed, not knowing what to do, not knowing what content to make. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. But YouTube is, and I think that's any art and content you make, it needs to be fun. You have to enjoy it. You can fake it. A lot of people can fake it, and with the right team, you can fake it well and for a long time. But in my opinion, you will not be happy. You will not have that inner happiness. You know what I'm saying? You just won't. I didn't, at least. And that's all I give a fuck about anymore. It's just being happy. Oh, I had to time somebody out in chat because they're being a little bit aggressive, saying that they hope I OD. Well, you know what, Reefa Man 420, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope whatever's bugging you or whatever is going wrong in your life works out better for you, man. Cheers to Reefa Man 420. I love you. All right, so there's this comment or this message somebody wrote me on Instagram, right? A friend of mine, actually. And I didn't talk to him in a while. And this kind of actually goes perfectly with what I was just saying. That's amazing. Wow. I'm great at fucking podcasts. I am amazing. And just everybody in chat, I'm not going to do like any Q&A type stuff. I love you guys so much, but I can't because I'm just trying to keep this podcast as focused as possible. But I appreciate you guys. So he said, hey, I got a question just about YouTube and whatnot. He said, I'm thinking about making a podcast, right on YouTube, but I don't know how to do any of the YouTube shit. How did you get into doing it? And is it something that you can make money? That can make money? No, you're good, FK. Don't trip. But, okay, so he asked me how to make a podcast, and he ended his message with, and can it make money? If you're getting into making a podcast or YouTube channel to make money, you're going to need to spend a lot of money to eventually make money. In my opinion, if there's no passion, if there's no love in it, then there's no way for you to actually be profitable anyways. In the short term. I don't know, maybe in the short term, unless you spend money. You can spend shitloads of money. You can pay companies that will make you go viral. But either way, I don't know where I'm kind of going with that. But I basically told him, like, dude, it's possible. You can literally buy a $30 microphone for your phone and use an app and record a podcast and get it to Spotify and everything just with your phone and one microphone. That's all you need. You don't need all this mixer board and all this other craziness that I have going on over here. You don't need all that. But if you're getting into it to make money, that's the wrong way to go. And I kind of said that. Didn't get a response. But it's like, shit, I'm going to give people the right advice. A lot of people, like, I give people the right advice, I feel like, a lot of the time. I've been through a lot for 28. But like, and it's like, I don't know. Sometimes I fucking feel like I give people advice and it might be just too straightforward and too real for some people, but I don't give a fuck. It's like, this is what you need to hear. And I care about you and I think you're a good person. And I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, even if this is the last time we're ever going to talk. It's very, very hard for me to like give into somebody's bullshit. Like, if you're acting like an idiot or you're doing fucked up things, even if you're my best friend, I'm gonna call you out on it and probably not even be that polite about it because you deserve it and you need to hear it. I'm all about tough love, especially when it comes to serious shit. So it's like, yeah. I don't know necessarily if that's what happened with this guy. I don't think so. I wasn't that straightforward, But a lot of people are addicted to caffeine, Dom. You're chill. Sorry, guys. And I just fell. I almost fell. I keep forgetting I'm not supposed to be responding to chat. I keep forgetting I'm not live streaming. Sorry. Focus. All right. So we got a couple other things to do here. I'm going to do my best to keep these to about like an hour long, right? Hold on. Let me take a little puff of the green stuff. Shit, I forgot to mention the sponsor. Damn it, dude. I'm supposed to do that in the intro. I think I might have actually. But either way, just so everybody knows, our sponsor for today's podcast and future podcasts is the Kid Ami, the homie who has supported the channel for months in big ways. And it's honestly a blessing that I was able to get this sponsorship because now it doesn't need to just be a YouTube podcast. It's actually going to be on Apple Music and Spotify and all that other stuff. So I want to say a big shout out to the Kid Ami. He's actually a producer. He makes beats. I've rapped on a couple of them already. He'll have a beat on the new upcoming album. And if you guys are interested in checking out beats, if you rap or you just need some background music for one of your videos or something like that, you can check him out. All the links will be in the description. And in the future episodes, I'll have all the links up on screen and all that other good stuff too. So, big thank you to him. I really appreciate that, bro. You are the man. And if anybody is interested in sponsoring future podcasts, you can email me, audible484@gmail.com. And we will go from there. But I will do that next time in the beginning of the video. That's when I should have done it. Cheers. Appreciate you, Puma. Have a good one. Hope your feelings aren't hurt. It's a podcast, not a stream. All right, where am I at? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I lost my... I hope you... I lost my train of thought there. What are we talking about? Okay, yeah. Finally saying fuck it and making the content I love. That's basically where I was at, right? And I think that... And we were talking about Fortnite. So I want to talk about Fortnite Chapter 2. For those who haven't seen it or who weren't watching the stream, I sat here for 8 hours. I didn't sit here the whole time. Probably about like 60, 75% of the time. I was... I think I need to turn chat off for the next time. Just like get it out of my view because it's like fucking with me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say like only, maybe do I seem like selfish by saying that? Like during the yesterday podcast, I'll only be responding to messages and donations in an effort to stay focused. I feel like that would be like a very small amount of messages that would come through, I don't know. Whatever. That fucked with my head a little bit. Fortnite Chapter 2. I streamed for over 8 hours and it was interesting to say the least. By far the longest stream I've ever done. And it was a black hole. So at the end of Fortnite Chapter 1 or Season 10, Fortnite was advertising that they were going to end the game forever. And nobody really believed them. I didn't believe them. eventually at the end of the game, it's a battle royale. So a battle royale game is basically 100 people dropping into a map, everybody fighting, last one wins, right? In a game like that, it's not like an MMO, like, type game where it's like a story game or you're just like in a world and everybody kind of like interacts and does different things. It's not like that. So for a battle royale game to have cutscenes and like lore and like things that happen is insane. And Fortnite's done this. Sorry, I think I burped a little bit. Gross. And Fortnite's done this multiple times where they've had crazy events in a battle royale game. One time they had a Marshmallow concert, right? A live Marshmallow concert in the game. So Marshmallow was streaming live somewhere and or DJing live, and it was in the game where you met up at a certain park, and Marshmallow was on the stage in the game as a character of himself performing for millions of people all over the world. It was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever been a part of. It was so weird. But the way that it happened was insane. I'm telling you, I will never forget it. I felt like I was at a legitimate concert. Because you and all your other characters around, people are talking, and it's just like, it was nuts. It was a legit concert, like a little 15-minute concert with just people in the game, and you're like, at one point during the drop, it goes like anti-gravity, so you're like floating in the air. It was like a virtual party, exactly. It was nuts, dude. It was so intense and so crazy. It was like I really had these like moments of just like pure like bliss, like as if I was at a festival, like for real. Like was almost like low-key teary-eyed. I was sitting there with my kids and shit. Like it was like nuts. So weird. And that was for just a little 15-minute Marshmallow concert. To this day, I think that was probably the best in-game event so far. The original one, the first one that ever happened, right? It was just back in the day, it was just a regular battle royale map. It was real quiet. There's trees and shit. You had to like go over hills. It was very, very quiet. And eventually in the sky, people started realizing, oh, there's a comet in the sky. Or asteroid. And slowly it got bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually people thought, or eventually people realized, or they announced, I don't know exactly how it worked, that it was wait, what was it? Was it an asteroid first? It was, right? And then the rocket came after that. So that wasn't actually even a moment. I don't think that was an in-game event. I think the comet was just going, and then the next map, and the next season they changed the map a little bit, and that's when Dusty Divot got hit, and it was like a big or depot got hit, and it was just a big like crater. And then after that, it was like an actual in-game event for the rocket, and they announced it and everything. And it was at a certain time, and if you weren't in the game or like people couldn't get in games, it was super back in the day. Like it was crazy how they did it. But if you're in the game at a certain time, everybody was like all like together, and like you could kill people, and if you killed them, they weren't able to see the event. It was kind of crazy how it worked. But everybody gathered because, they announced, and this is before any of these in-game events ever. Nobody ever thought a battle royale would have this type of moment. So they announced it, the rocket event this time, whatever, and I got in game, and I went somewhere on a ramp with other people who could have killed me, but everybody's like wants to see the event, so nobody's fighting. Some people are, and they're dicks, and it's just a weird little process of seeing the event. Anyways, so we all gather, and then a rocket comes out of the sky. I barely even remember it, but a rocket comes out of the sky, and what happens? Does it blow something up? Oh wait, do they shoot a rocket off? Wait, I can't even think. I don't even remember. It was like a rocket event. I might be just high, but it was amazing. I remember the moment it was like this rocket was going around the entire map, going to different sections. Boom, boom, boom. It was insane. It was one of the most intense, insane moments in a video game I've ever experienced. So, Epic had another Fortnite in-game event that they called The End. The End is Near. That's all they really put out. Basically what happened is this rocket that I just talked about kind of appeared, and multiple ones did, and eventually the entire map imploded in on itself, and everybody got sucked into this black hole, and a black screen came up, and then all it showed was a black hole on the screen. All right, we got a map or a timeline right here of all the events. So let's see if it'll pop up. All right, yeah, I'll look at that later because I think it's too long. But anyways, appreciate you though. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, okay. So we imploded on in on itself. The screen went black, and there was a black hole on the screen. It went trending on Twitter worldwide. I think it had almost every trend in different ways. It had over 1.3 million views just on the Twitter stream on Fortnite's Twitter. It was, I think, over like 3 million viewers who were watching right after it happened. Everybody kept waiting for this black hole to do something. Everybody was streaming, including myself. And it didn't do anything for 2 days. It was the weirdest mindfuck ever. It like totally threw me off, and like I couldn't focus on anything. It's weird. I wanted to talk about it. It was actually an insane marketing strategy by Fortnite and Epic Games for them to do this. Okay, so their game has gone for like a year and a half or so. They're their 10th season. They have gone from a game that was taking over the world and everybody wanted to be a part of. Drake was playing, to kind of like a meme of a dying game. They had a lot of bullshit go wrong in the last few seasons. They were doing a lot of craziness. A lot of people were talking shit. A lot of people were saying that if season 11 isn't insanely different and better, they're not going to play anymore. It was a big time. And this event, not only did it create buzz around Fortnite and bring probably hella new players to the game, but it was kind of like a slap in the face, because there's a lot of people who talk shit about the game, who've played it a lot, and it being a meme and a dead game, like it kind of was like a body check to all those people. Like, hey, shut the fuck up. Like, you know who we are, right? Like, we can just take this game away and you won't know what to do with your fucking life. And all these people who are streamers and personalities online who always talk shit about the game were fucking lost. They didn't know what to do, including myself. I was like, holy shit, I've never wanted to play Fortnite so bad. So not only do they get hella new players, create a huge buzz all over the world on news sites and everything else, but they also reinvigorated the love that old players had by just taking the game away for a couple days. On top of that, they actually created a worthy chapter 2, and the game feels fresh. It feels new. It feels back to what the original Fortnite felt like. And from what I've heard, it's gotten nothing but like positive reviews and stuff. There's our little, things that are wrong with it, but I think people are just happy to play it again and to play it in a good meta and in a good way. So that was insane. And the entire Fortnite life that I've lived the past couple of years is so dope and so much fun and so cool to me. And I just wish that there were more people who like understood like how dope this community, the Fortnite community is, how many cool ass streamers like Hamlins and Ninja and Tfue and all these other people who are like really, really funny. And like, I would, even if I stopped playing Fortnite, like I would still want to watch their streams just because like I've grown to appreciate their personalities, their ways of thinking, and just them, being entertained by them. So it's like, it's a trip. It's just a trip, and it's really cool. And it feels good to finally say fuck it and make the content I love and be able to talk about Fortnite. It's funny because anytime I stream Fortnite, within the next day or two, I probably lose like 5 subs on average. As much as I gain, I lose, which is fine. It honestly feels good sometimes to lose subscribers because I feel like I'm kind of like fleshing out people who really aren't there for the content I make, which is fine. I don't even hold any animosity towards them. It's cool. It's just like, it also feels good to know that my community is starting to take a better shape, if that makes sense. I don't want to be the drug guy anymore. I'm not just about that. Like, I fucking want to break something sometimes. Like, fuck. I don't just do drugs. It's like a child actor who like fucking everybody wants him to say that famous line, no, suck my dick. Like, I'm so fucking over it, man. So fucking over it. I play Fortnite a lot. I have kids. I like to go to Disneyland. Suck my dick. That's how I feel. I still do acid every once in a while. I like psychedelics. I like to smoke weed and I was going to say get drunk, but I don't know if I do or not. I don't like to get drunk. I like to have a beer every once in a while. I don't know if I'm going to, but shit, suck my dick. And that's not to you guys, to anybody who like, if you guys are in here for the psychedelic content, drunk content, that's fine. But that's not the only aspect to me. And I think that over the years, I have grown an audience, or some people in my audience that are only there for the drug content. They don't give a fuck about me or anything else but that. And that's even fine. I don't hate you guys, but some people try to force it on me. And it's so fucking annoying. Yeah. I just like saying that. Suck my dick. That feels good. Oh, all right. So on top of the content that I love, I want to discuss things that I watched, albums I listened to throughout the week, every Sunday. For those who don't know, this is the Yesterday podcast with Audible 484. It'll be up every Sunday. I'll be streaming it here live for free with you guys. If you guys want to still see the stream live, you can sign up for the Patreon. It's only $1 a month. And yeah, that'll begin in December. I need to kind of work that out a little better. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already as well. So, I watched El Camino last night. El Camino is an amazing epilogue. Is like before the book, right? So what's like after? There's like always a thing at the end. Is that the epilogue, or is the epilogue in the beginning? I don't know. Anyways, it was the perfect ending epilogue to that series. It didn't shy away from Walter White too much. Like, he had his little scene and a good scene. It ended so beautifully. It didn't overdo it. It was like, wow, there is a way to make a sequel in a good way. And for those who don't know, El Camino is the Breaking Bad movie. The Breaking Bad Jesse Pinkman movie. It's like kind of like a sequel. I'm not going to give any spoilers. I won't do that, but it was an amazing way to see it end. And it's nice to see, like I said, that you can still make a sequel and it makes sense. You don't have to ruin the end of a series. I'm showing my Game of Thrones sigil right now, just for those who are just listening to the podcast. Oh, shit. And we got a $2 donation from Crazy T. Congratulations on your new podcast, Audible. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Hell yeah, bro. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Feels good, man. I'm excited. I'm super excited. And to end the podcast, thanks again, bro. I really appreciate you, man. You're always showing love. Thanks, dog. To end the podcast, normally right now what I would be doing is viewer questions. But I didn't get any. So if you guys are interested in sending in a video clip or an audio clip, asking a question, I will play it on the next podcast. You could literally just record it on Twitter or Instagram and just tag me in it. You can email it to me, audible484@gmail.com. You can make a YouTube video and tweet it to me. You can do whatever way you want to get me a video clip would be best. Audio clips work as well. And next week I'll start the viewer question part of the podcast, which would normally go right here. But just to wrap everything up, I want to say thank you to everybody, because this has gone very well. You know, I don't mean to come off like in chat like I'm being selfish and I just want money. That's not what that was. So to whoever said that earlier, they said something about some people can't afford to pay to chat, so take care, brother. Hope you make your money. That was such a backhanded little message. And all I said back was like, well, sorry, man. It's a podcast, not a live stream, which is true. But I don't want to come off like that. So maybe I'll change that around. I don't know. He has a point. See, there are times where comments like that have a bit of a point to them. I get it. You don't have to pay to chat. You guys can all chat amongst yourselves either way, just so you know. Anyways, see, that's how this is going to go. I don't give a fuck if it's awkward. I don't give a fuck if people want to like, you know, try to make me feel awkward. Nothing makes me feel awkward. That doesn't happen. I might get a little upset, but I can see it happening. You know, whatever. Suck my dick. I'm just kidding. Suspect Puma, you're cool. I know you are. You've been here a while, so don't mean to come off selfish. Anyways, it has been a great podcast though. This has been fun. I'm like legitimately in like such a more focused mood, I guess, with this. Like I know what to do now. Like I'm actually excited to do another one. I want to keep them to an hour as of right now. But I feel like I can maybe even push it a little longer. But we'll see. For now, I'm going to keep it to an hour. We'll see how it goes. To end the podcast, though, to have a little bit of fun, I do want to show a couple videos to end every podcast. Okay, so those who are listening, I'm going to do my best to show videos that you can basically get the gist of it by just listening to the audio. All right, so let's see here. So here we go. Okay, so this one's called Irishman Leaves Funny Recording for His Funeral. Basically, this guy knew he was going to die for whatever reason. I don't know if he was sick or not. But he said, hey, when you guys lower me into the ground, I want you to put this speaker and play this song as I'm being lowered into the ground, right? So check this out. It is actually kind of like hilarious and something I would do for sure. So let me pull this up, guys. Let's see if I can get it going. I forgot to add like my webcam to the shot. So let me do that real quick. This will all be a lot better, guys, in time. All right. So this is the Irishman who lived a funny recording for his own funeral. So like I said, he is dead in this clip. And he gave his family this recording to play as he was being lowered down into the ground. He said, hey, put this speaker in my casket and play this song. A bunch of crying people around his casket as it's being lowered into the ground. This is the song he's playing.
Hello? 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 Let me out! Where the fuck am I? Hello? Hello? Let me out! It's fucking dark in here! Where the fuck am I? Is that priest I can hear? The fuck? Let me out! Hello? Hello? Stop the mask! Stop, I can hear you! Hello?
It's so weird.
Hello? Who's there? Hello?
So yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's so funny because I've always talked about doing something like that at my funeral. Like, hey man, if I die and I know I'm going to, like, can you just like play this or like, you know?
Sorry.
This is Son's reacting to cow milking, so I don't know what this
You're supposed to
is.
dip your hand in
I
the
haven't
water
watched this
before you
yet.
make your hand wet, pretty much. Oh.
Dip it in there,
Make
London.
your hand wet. Your hand is
Did you dip it,
So
London?
kids over here about to milk a cow,
Dip your hand in the water.
getting his towel, walking up to it, little boy.
No.
Yeah, right here. Just like that.
Are you scared? Why is it Auntie Shantae's coming?
The smell.
It's a penis. Disgusting.
I haven't watched that one yet. Oh, that was a good one. All right, so this one you've probably seen on Instagram and shit. It's hilarious. I had to show it, and we're gonna end with it.
Bro, I just found out something, bro. So you know mosquitoes, right? They bite you.
Mm-hmm.
and they have your blood, right? So mosquitoes carry your blood, right? So that means they have your DNA. So when you give birth, technically, you're his baby daddy. So the baby of the mosquito.
Well, you want to hear a better question? So when you put your shirt inside your pants, you're tucking in your shirt into your pants, right? So when your shirt is out of your pants, does that mean that your pants is tucked into your shirt?
Oh God, what an amazing moment that was caught on camera there. I feel like I've had so many moments like that with homies and shit like that. Oh God, thank you guys so much for being here. It has been fun. The Audible 484 or the Yesterday podcast with Audible 484 has been a success so far. Crazy T, thank you so much for the donation. The Kid on Me, you are amazing for sponsoring the podcast, and I appreciate you, man. Everybody else who's in chat, who's been here. Dom, Mane Love, she wants me to go get Mexican food. That means I'm probably going to have to do something right now. Jesus, of course. But you know what? I'm kind of hungry too. F it. Dom, I already said you. Drew, H7. Who else is here? FK, Suspect, all you guys. I appreciate you all. You guys are amazing. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Music or any of those things, subscribe to the podcast. It will be here every Sunday, chilling, smoking something, and talking about what happened through the week. If you guys are interested in sending in a viewer question, you can tag me on YouTube or on Instagram. You can tag me on Twitter. You can send me a video or audio clip to my email, audible484@gmail.com. Somebody send me some questions for next week's podcast. This has been amazingly fun. And I honestly, I'm really excited about doing this more. I'm going to have it. It's going to continue to improve. So these are baby steps. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Have a great rest of your Sunday. And I will see you guys next time. Maybe I'll even stream some Fortnite, some average Fortnite gameplay later tonight. Peace out, guys. Love you.